check. I always thought that. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, and welcome to our beautiful center here in beautiful San Clemente. We're so glad you're here in the sanctuary and out there in video land, and we'd like you to please join us in our first sing-along song. We have a plethora of song leaders today. Yippee hooray!
Don't call me that.
We've got Wade and Kimberly Wooldridge and Rick Dale, and by the way, our guest bass player today is Gaku Murata. Say hi, Gaku, and the rest of our band. And here we go. 1, 2.
On your feet. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing joy today. Choosing love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing love today. Choose beauty. I'm choosing beauty today. I'm choosing beauty today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing beauty today. Choose peace. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing peace today. Back to heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven
Woo! Welcome to the Center for Spiritual in Capistrano Valley. My name is Reverend Art Patton, and I'm a staff minister here. And you are welcome to our spiritual center. If you need more prosperity, you are welcome here. If you need better health, you're welcome here. If you need more abundance, you're welcome here. If you're a Cincinnati Bengal fan, you are welcome here. We are a trans-denominational community. What that means is we honor all paths to God. And we're going to get our clam bake started by reading the Flames of Faith. So follow me. Yes, we are lighting them flames. This is a call to service, really. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought, experience, which we will honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of loving by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness consciousness as a path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as practitioner Rick Dale lights that last candle, let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. And Mr. Dale?
Thank you, Reverend. Y'all feel like praying? Me too. So, let's come home. That place that's warm and beautiful and safe and exquisite. Through that door is God Almighty, the presence and the power and the life that has created this universe and created each of us in its image and likeness. And even though it can't be seen, it can't be touched, it can't be mathematically proven, it can be felt and it can be experienced. And it is waiting for us forever. Waiting to hear from us, waiting for us to commune with it, to acknowledge it. And so that is why we are here today, and that is what we're doing. I give thanks for this. What a gift. And I place these words now into that law, into that power, into that life that always says yes. And we say together, and so it is. Guess what time it is? It's affirmation time. So say it like you mean it, okay? With me. I give to the world my love, my trust, and joy. And so it is. And now, our declaration of principles. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence, operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. I believe this perfect spirit operates through a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to produce health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now, and I rejoice in it, and so it is.
Oh, see, they're giving me all these things I'm supposed to do. Well, I'm going to introduce the music of this beautiful Chelsea band who's going to come up here next and sing.
But I truly believe I won't always be feeling like this. I'm gonna shine like the sun when these clouds roll away from my door. When it's all said and done, I won't be at your mercy no more. I will prove my own worth, heal the damage and hurt that's been done. And when the crying's all done, well, I'm gonna shine like the sun. have to do. I have to move forward, cut losses, break loose, and move on. And I have to swim shoreward, lest I should drown out here alone. I'm gonna shine like the sun when these clouds roll away from my door. I won't crawl, I can run, won't be at no one's mercy no more. I'll be swinging on sunbeams, so proud that I finally won. And when the losing's all done, well, I'm gonna shine like the sun. I'm gonna shine like the sun. Gonna shine like the sun. We'll be swinging on sunbeams, so proud that we finally won. And when the losing's all done, we're gonna shine like the sun. Yeah, when the crying's all done, when the lying's all done, when the trying's all done, there'll be nothing but sun. And when it's all said and done, we're gonna shine like the sun. When it's all said and done, we're gonna shine like the sun, like the sun, like the sun.
Chelsea Van.
Thank you, Chelsea Van. That was really wonderful. That's a little low. Wait a minute here. All right. Good morning, everyone. Before we get started, I would like to have just a moment of silence and prayer for Ukraine. And I'm going to light a candle for peace and for guidance on how we can respond with love. And you might be thinking, responding to love, how is that going to settle things? How is that going to change things? Are we supposed to just love people even though they're doing things that are unacceptable? I'm not talking about the kind of love where we just acquiesce and say things are okay. I'm talking about the kind of love that knows how to act and when to act when those that we care about are in harm's way. So if you'll follow me, I'm going to light this candle. And I light it for peace. Peace in Ukraine, peace in Russia, peace in the world. Let's have a moment of silence and then I'll pray. So we open our hearts and our minds to that beautiful idea of peace, that understanding that comes from most up high and within and all around, and we raise our awareness to that place that knows nothing but peace, and we allow ourselves to be lifted up, to be guided, to know what is ours to do. And so I trust that as we hold this highest idea for peace, that it spreads from within our hearts outward, and that everything we see and everything we touch and everything we do is informed by that deep sense of peace and love that we feel within ourselves. And we know what steps to take, what road to follow, so that peace may be expressed by us and that we may experience peace in the greater world. We hold Ukraine in our hearts, knowing the same thing for each and every one of them. as we simply let this go, we give this to the law, we give this back to love, we give this back to peace, and we allow it to be so. It is with deep gratitude that we pray this prayer. And together we say, and so it is. So thank you. Thank you for just taking a moment to presence ourselves with what's going on in the world. I didn't feel like I could begin to talk to you if I didn't acknowledge that. I know that it weighs heavy for many of us. And when I think about what we're going to talk about today, I think about this idea of keeping the faith. We've been looking at this annual theme of living everyday wonder. And this month we've been looking at the idea of the inner work, the inner life. And so prayer and holding that place of peace is part of that inner life. It's part of that inner work as we bring ourselves to a deeper awareness of what wants to be expressed by means of us. And so as we begin to look at things like the everyday, we can simultaneously walk out our day holding others with great care. We have our annual meeting today. That'll be wonderful. It'll be great to be able to have all of us be informed. We've got some lunch that we'll be serving before the annual meeting. I'm really looking forward to not only presenting our membership with information, but getting information from you and hearing from you as we begin this more in-depth dialogue as a membership. So it'll be a good check-in for all of us. So I hope you can stick around for that. When I think about the inner life, and I think about the current events in the world, and I think about how to bring all that together, I am reminded of this story about Mahatma Gandhi. And it's a story that I heard a long time ago, and you may have heard it before, but it really brings this idea of what is it that's mine to do, and how do I walk that out? And so Gandhi found himself having audience with a woman who brought her son to see him, and she was absolutely distraught, and she said to Gandhi, help me, he won't stop eating sugar. And Gandhi looked at the boy and the mother and said, come back in 1 week. So she went away for a week, and she came back a week later, and she brought her son up to Gandhi, and she presented him in front of her. And he looked at the child, and he said, stop eating sugar. She said, I waited a week for that. And Gandhi simply said, I had to stop eating sugar. I had to stop eating sugar. And so I think my point, you're catching my point here. In order for us to want to see and live in a more peaceful world, in order for us to actually find ourselves with wanting to hold peace in our heart and demand that of others, we need to look within ourselves and see where is it that we aren't holding peace. There's a wonderful meme that's going around by Pema Chodron, and she writes, every day we could think about aggression in the world and ask ourselves, am I going to add to the aggression? At the moment when things get edgy, we can just ask ourselves, am I going to practice peace or am I going to practice war? Am I going to practice peace or am I going to practice war? And is that really what that is when we are finding ourselves agitated and needing to fight with somebody about something? Is that really an act of war? It doesn't seem like it if in retrospect or in perspective to what's going on in the Ukraine and in Russia. But if we take that teaching story of Gandhi to heart, we know that in order for us to demand peace on earth, we must cultivate it within ourselves. We must know it within ourselves. And so we cultivate that by cultivating our faith. We cultivate that thing within us that absolutely guides us and directs us. And when I think about faith, there's sort of two flavors of faith in my camps. And that is the faith that is cultivated and informed by our asking and our seeking and our developing and our looking deeply within. And then there's this thing called blind faith. And blind faith is easy. You just believe everything you hear. But I don't think we're that kind of people. I don't think we just believe everything we hear. We try to understand. We try to develop a deeper understanding. We try to have we try to be clear. The way I understand our philosophy is that it is the clarity that we create within our mind and our heart that demonstrates in the world around us. Because when I'm clear, it's easy for me to hear the guidance of that still small voice. When I'm clear, it's easy for me to read you. It's easy for me to know what I need to pay attention to. It's easier for me to know what it is that the divine wants to express by means of me. And so as we look at this idea of keeping the faith, we're looking at I would call it an intelligent faith, a faith that asks questions, a faith that asks us to not only ask questions about the world around us, but to ask ourselves questions. I got a hold of a book, hot off the press. It's been out for about a month. The author is Sean Ginwright, and he wrote a book called 4 Pivots. And it's a book about social justice, but it's a book about the work that we have to do to heal ourselves in order to experience healing in the world. And it's written by a contemporary intellectual, and it feels like kin to me. And as I read his book, I can really see how the way he is looking at what I'll call the ills of the world is very religious scientist-y. Yeah. And I think about, in our movement we have progressives and we have traditionalists and everybody in between. And when I read Sean's work, I can really see how he's coming to this place where he's elevating us to some values as opposed to points of view, so that we can begin to find what is ours to do when it comes to creating the world that we want to see, to creating a world that works for everyone. It's probably one of the closest pieces of literature that I've seen that really takes that really high view and brings us together to a point where we're really beginning to understand, kind of like that Gandhi story, how to stop eating sugar before we start telling other people to stop eating sugar. And so I want to share the one pivot that I think is really salient to today's topic, and that's the first pivot, which is awareness. And he talks about awareness that is typically, we gain our awareness through our lens, right? How we see the world, how we actually see things through our own experience and through our own learning, right? But the fact is, if I'm going to look through at the world through my own lens, my lens is a white 60-year-old woman, right? I don't know what it's like to be a white man. I don't know what it's like to be African American. I don't know what it's like to be a gay individual. I only have my perspective and my lens. And so Jim Wright's pivot, he's asking us to move from lens to mirror work. And the mirror work is to begin to work in collaboration with others, to begin to inquire of others so that we can begin to see the things that we don't see. Because I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. But if I'm open and curious and willing to inquire, not only to my own beliefs and to see where my biases are, but to begin to listen to other people's ideas and bias, well then I can get to that place of clarity that I was talking about a little earlier. I can begin to see with the eyes of spirit, if you will. I can try to raise and elevate myself up beyond my own lens to that mirror work which will allow me to see my own projections and my own bias. Now, it's a little bit dicey, and the reason I think it's a little bit dicey is because when we go to do mirror work with one another, I have to watch myself. Am I trying to get you to see through my lens? Or am I really choosing to be a mirror for you so that you can see yourself? And that, my friends, is where the power lies. When we can hold up a mirror with love and be neutral and ask questions, not because somebody has to answer to me, but because I want you to inquire. I want you to be clearer. I want you to be more present. And so awareness is really one of those tools that we can use to cultivate our faith so that when we're keeping the faith, we're really not just believing something because somebody else said it was a good idea and it kind of sounded good, but that we're going deep. We're going deep to know what it is that we have faith in, to use our discernment, to get clearer so that we can, we did this prayer this morning where we prayed for peace and guidance to know how to respond with love. And the way that I find and hear and begin to get in touch with that peace and guidance is through clarity. And it is through cultivating my faith. And it is through getting connected with each one of you. Keeping the faith. What a wonderful invitation for us to end February with, to keep the faith of knowing that there is a beautiful perfection in the world that needs us to express it, that needs us to tease it out, that needs us to reflect for one another where we're falling short, not in a you're right and I'm wrong kind of thing, but in a, is that really who you want to be? So I look forward to continuing this afternoon with our annual meeting as we can talk about who we are as a community and where we are, and where we're going, where we've been. My invitation to you as you walk out the rest of this day, as you continue to find those places that you are, that your awareness is being raised to, that you press in. You ask yourself, what is mine to know? You find that trusted person that you can do a little mirror work with, to ask questions of each other. And we just get clearer so that we can create that world that works for everyone, that we can experience peace, that this thing called war and oppression can be a thing of the past. So I'm going to invite you to pray with me, and I thank you very much. So let's pray. And it is with an open heart that I simply speak these words, that I know that the call is great for each one of us to drop into that place within where we are all one, so that we may cultivate compassion, so that we may cultivate love, so that we may cultivate a peace that already exists, that just wants to be revealed. And so I know as we accept these words, as we know that this is the prayer that we speak for ourselves, that we speak for all our brothers and sisters, that indeed it is the prayer of the beloved to itself, beckoning it home. May all beings be well. May all beings be healthy. May all beings know love. We simply drop those words, those powerful words and ideas. We let them be. We allow the spirit of love and peace and well-being to move forward from us out into the world so that we can indeed be the peace we long to see in the planet. It is with a humbled and grateful heart that I speak this word, that I simply let it go. And I invite you to surrender as well and to anchor this prayer in that same peace by saying together, and so it is. Thank you very much. Chelsea Van, come back up.
Didn't I tell you I hear what you say? Never look back as you're walking away. Carry the music, the memories, and keep them inside you. Laugh every day. Don't stop those tears from falling down. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide, 'cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. With courage and kindness, hold on to your faith. You get what you give, and it's never too late to reach for the branch and climb up, breathing sadness behind you. Fight hard for love. We can never give enough. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide, 'cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. Riding the storms that come raging towards us as we dive. Holding our breath as we break through the surface with arms open wide. With arms open wide. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide, 'cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. So stand in the light and be seen as you are.
Beautiful, Chelsea. We see who you are. We know who you are. We see everyone else here as they are. So now is our time to give our offering. So if today is your time to make a donation or to give something, take your gift, put it on your heart, and say, thank you, God. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to give, to serve, to enjoy the benefits of love, consciousness, prosperity, and this center. We're not passing the basket. At the back of the doors, there are places where you can make your contributions as you leave and as you exit. And you can also do it online by contacting whatever email you see on the feed. And we're going to read our declaration somewhere up there. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply. And
Yes, and Chelsea's going to join me on this. It's the song called A Light in the Dark. It's what we all are putting out there right now. When the sky is gray and help is not in sight, when you lose your way in the dark of night, close your eyes and dream of a summer's day when you thought the sun would never go away. There's a light in the dark, shining somewhere deep inside, just a glow from a spark that is impossible to hide. When you are afraid, with no place to go, separated from everyone you know, watch the twinkling stars in the deepest blue. Know the ones you miss, see them same as you. There's a light in the dark, shining somewhere deep inside. Just a glow from a spark that is impossible to hide. Somewhere in your heart there is a key to unlock the light inside and set us free. When you're on your own in a shadowland, you're really not alone. Somewhere there's a hand reaching out with hope through the dark and gray, guiding you with love, showing you the way. There's a light in the dark, shining somewhere deep inside. Just a glow from a spark that is impossible to hide. Thank you.
see, thank you both. All right, this is the best part because all that light that they're singing about, I could see it over everybody's head right here and right now. So I get to thank everyone in service today. So we're going to start with the band. Ed, Gaku, Ed, Dave, Gaku, Diane. Who do we have in the back there? Mary, Josh, Dave. Who else? The practitioners in service. Clark. We'll get to Clark. He knows. He knows who he is. Practitioners in service are Rick, Kate, Fate, Cheryl. If you have a burning desire to have a prayer treatment and you are on fire with need, see one of these three people. And now, Clark behind the camera. Did I miss anybody else? All right. Who's doing invitations, Rick? Here you go. You got your own. I do. There are always guys like that. They got their own.
All righty then. Please stay after the service for the annual general meeting of the membership. There is important business to present: the financial report, the proposed budget for 2022, and the election of 3 new members to the Board of Trustees. A light fare will be served for those who stay. That's a good reason to stay. If you are a voting member and you cannot be here in person, please assign your proxy to our board secretary, Marge Hobbs, or to someone of your choosing who will be here in person. There are some proxies on the table in the foyer. Due to the membership meeting, there will be a different level of conscious connection today. Today in the bookstore, the special sale on note cards continues with artist-made cards for only $1 each. Buy several and send a note to everyone you know. Looking forward to next month, and the theme for March being play, the bookstore is soliciting and gratefully accepting your donations of card games, board games, jigsaw puzzles, funny books to share with others. When you go home this afternoon, look through your game collection to see if there are some you are ready to rehome. We'll make the most of them. Donations will be graciously accepted any Sunday morning or by arrangement with the bookstore manager. The Animal Kinship Ministry team is requesting new photos of your pet family to update the collage. I went to collage. They have on display in the bookstore. We will put out a box to collect them beginning next Sunday. Please state on the back of your photo your name and your pet's name. Thank you. Every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning, we have small group meetings on Zoom. We have the book club, Shifting Sands discussion group, and Coming Home to Spirit support group. For more information and the pertinent details, you can now pick up a flyer at the back of the room and or talk to Mary Brogdon, who can answer any questions you might have. 2 weeks ago, we introduced the idea of having a game night, perhaps once a month. So far, we have 8 people signed up for our first game night on Friday, March 25th at 7 p.m. March was chosen because the theme for the whole month is play. Mexican Train was chosen because it is Reverend Alice's favorite game. And she hasn't played since moving here from Santa Cruz. Everyone is welcome to nominate a game of their choice. We will put out a sign-up sheet to see if enough people are interested in making a night of fun, playing other games. And that is the invitations for today. I think we should sing some more. What do you think? Let's stand up and do it. Come on. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. Oh, I see you for the love that you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are.
see your light, I see your love, I see who you are. I see your light, I see your love, I see who you are.
And so let us say those words one more time, and let us say those words to every individual in the UK and in Russia and around the world. I see your light, I see your love, I see who you are, and so it is. Thank you.